We just had a little personality test. Did you know that? And the more dominant personality just looked at you and said, "You'll be A." Can you feel it now? Twirl it faster and faster. Keep on twirling. That's it now. Focus on your index finger. How excited are you to be right at the beginning of another school year? Let's hear it. Woo! And as we heard, welcome to all the new staff. What a wonderful opportunity. Did you notice that we didn't let any negative energy into this startup rally? Did you notice that? Because have you ever found that when you're around a negative or whiny person, they have the ability to just suck the life out of you? Please have a look who's sitting on your left. Have a look who's sitting on your right. If you happen to find that you are sitting next to or in close proximity to a negative or whiny person, please move seats now. When it comes to practicing personal leadership, I really believe that leadership is not about what we do. Leadership is about who we are. Leadership is about character. It has nothing to do with our job title. So we need to be practicing personal leadership with everybody, with our colleagues, because let me ask you this, do our internal relationships affect our external relationships? Does how we get along with each other affect the relationships that we have with the students? Exactly. So that is so important. We need to lead ourselves with everyone that we come into contact with. So these 5 characteristics of personal leadership. The first one is all about accountability. How do you communicate with yourself? Because it's so important when you think about how we interact with other people. That's why we are accountable for our own communication. And you know, Claude Bernard once said, it's what we think we know that often prevents us from learning. So how open-minded are we? We can start having negative thoughts before we even leave the house. In fact, we don't even have to be out of bed. All we do is we open our eyes and we just turn around and look at who's lying next to us. We don't have to push. And what I really wanted you to experience, and this is the whole point about being counterintuitive, is to be able to say to yourself, I feel that force coming at me. That force might be some kind of uncertainty in your professional or personal life. It might actually be an individual. It could in fact be the economy, as I've told many organisations, and senior leaders have actually practiced this exercise. Because what do? We constantly react. Instead of being able to take a step back and be the objective observer of our own experience. That's what it means to be counterintuitive. And that's why we need to always remember that we have that ability to make our own decision and not react, but instead find a way to respond. But you know, we all have this interesting thing. It's called perception. The power of perception. And I wonder if you've ever thought about perception like this. Everybody can see what I've got in my hand? And it's real. Okay. Let me show you about the power of perception. Imagine that we are not here in the Saskatchewan Rivers School Division Startup Rally. Imagine that we are in the Okanagan Valley and you're a farmer. All right? What would this represent to you? Money. Okay, now, switch. You work for a certain computer company. What would it be? A symbol, exactly. A logo. Teachers, what would it be? A bribe? That's one perception. Okay, how about this? You are either Adam or Eve. What would it be? Temptation. And you're a worm. Home. Who's right? Everyone's right. Everyone's right. So your perception is your reality, and no one can argue with your perception. Their perception is their reality, and no one can argue with their perception. Anis Nin once said, "We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are." And we usually get what we expect. What's your perception? Ladies and gentlemen, you have a unique opportunity to make a significant impact on one of the most significant groups in our society in the future. And you never know one day how you can be the role model to one of those children without even knowing it. Because it's not about what you do. It's not about what role we're in. It's about who we are. And we all have the ability to make the difference, to create an impact, to be the best that we can. So as we wrap up this Startup Rally, let's all go out there and keep reminding ourselves to make the difference. Thank you.